guys. B,
Hey Ivan, what's up?
aren't we recording a video today?
Yes, shoot. Okay. No, we can still do something. What about the Ferrari in the lobby?
What do you mean? What Ferrari?
The Ferrari Conciso in the lobby. Well, okay, you're gonna love the story. Let's get started. Don't worry about it. Today we're looking at a car that usually requires a double take or maybe a triple take. Usually when we talk about a 1980s Ferrari, your mind immediately goes to the poster kings. We're picturing side strakes, pop-up headlights, and a whole lot of wedge-shaped Pininfarina drama. But what we have in the lobby today is a one-off oddball that looks less like a traditional supercar and more like, well, a smiling shoe. This is the 1989 Ferrari Conciso. It's a coach-built radical based on the bones of a 328 GTS, and it serves as a definitive proof that even the Prancing Horse isn't afraid to get a little weird in the relentless pursuit of weight savings and aerodynamic efficiency. It's a Ferrari stripped to its absolute bare essentials. To understand where the Conciso came from, we actually have to look away from Maranello and toward a German design studio headed by a man named Bernd Michalak. In the late 1980s, Michalak's studio wanted to create a manifesto on wheels that followed his personal philosophy of athleticism. The concept was daringly simple: strip away every single luxury, body panel, or creature comfort that isn't strictly necessary for the act of driving. They wanted to take the grand touring soul of a Ferrari and turn it into a track-focused speedster. The name Conciso actually comes from the Italian word for concise. And let me tell you, they were not kidding about brevity. They took a perfectly good production Ferrari 328 GTS and performed an automotive delete on almost everything. They removed the roof, the doors, the entire windshield structure, and what was left was a minimalist, open-air aluminum body that looks like it belongs on a high-stakes, futuristic go-kart track rather than the autostrada. The design of the Conciso is what truly sets it apart from anything else wearing a Ferrari badge. It's a barchetta in the truest sense of the word. Because there are no doors, the entry process is a bit of an athletic event itself. You don't just open a handle and sit down, you literally hop over the aluminum sides and slide into the low slung cockpit. It's finished in a hand-formed all aluminum skin. By ditching the fiberglass and steel of the original 328, Michalak created a shell that is significantly lighter and more compact. The front end is the car's most famous feature. It boasts a wide, round intake and a low profile, fixed headlights that give the car its signature happy expression. It's probably the friendliest looking Ferrari ever made. Safety is subjective here. Since there's really no windshield, just a tiny wraparound wind deflector, the car actually comes with two helmets stowed in integrated compartments. If you're planning on hitting 100 miles per hour or more, you're definitely going to need them to keep the bugs out of your teeth. Now, the 328 GTS was already a respected, capable car for its era, but Michalak's diet plan turned it into an entirely different beast. By shedding the heavy safety glass, the door mechanisms, and almost all the interior carpeting and luxuries, they managed to hack about 800 pounds off the total curb weight. That brings the Conciso down to a featherweight 1,960 pounds. For a little perspective, that is significantly lighter than the modern-day Mazda Miata, yet it's packing a mid-mounted Ferrari V8 right behind your head. The power-to-weight ratio shift transformed the car from a comfortable weekend cruiser into a twitchy, responsive precision instrument. It's all about the purity of the power-to-weight math. Despite that radical smiling shoe exterior, the mechanical bones of this machine remain pure, unadulterated Ferrari 328. This is great news for anyone who actually has to maintain it. Here's the technical specs. The legendary 3.2-liter quattro valvole, 4-valve, V8. Output, approximately 270 horsepower, which feels like double that in a car this light. Transmission, a classic 5-speed manual, complete with that iconic clicking gated shifter that we all love. Because it's a third lighter than a stock 328, it can sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 5 seconds and will keep pulling until it hits 173 miles per hour. It's the same reliable, rev-happy engine that Ferrari enthusiasts adore, just delivered without the distractions of a roof, a heater, or even side windows to roll down. It's just you, the gated shifter, and the roar of the V8. The Conciso made its grand debut at the 1993 Frankfurt Motor Show and later turned heads at the Geneva Motor Show. It was never intended for a production run. It was a pure design study of a what-if scenario brought to life. For many years, this car was tucked away in a prestigious private collection in Belgium. Interestingly, the owner treated it more like a piece of automotive sculpture, occasionally displaying it right in his living room. It recently resurfaced on the global auction block, showing a remarkably low 6,000 miles on the odometer. It represented a rare opportunity to own a Ferrari that was truly one of a kind. I can guarantee you that no one else at your local Cars and Coffee is going to pull up in one of these. And if they do, they're probably wearing the matching helmet. Driving the Conciso has been described by the few who have tried it as a raw sensory experience. Without the isolation of a traditional cabin, you are part of the elements. You hear every mechanical click of the linkage, every induction snort from the intake, and every pebble hitting the wheel wells. It was built specifically for the purist who wants the exposed, visceral sensation of a motorcycle, but with the sophisticated balance and grip of a mid-engine Ferrari chassis. It might look like a quirky piece of footwear at first glance, but once you're behind the wheel, it runs with the intensity of an Olympic sprinter. The Ferrari Conciso is a wonderful reminder that the late 80s and early 90s were a wild experimental time for independent coach building. It takes one of Ferrari's most legendary and reliable platforms and strips it down to its most concise, athletic, and honest form. It's weird, it's happy, and it's undeniably fast. Thank you guys so much for watching this deep dive into one of our favorite oddities. If you want to check it out, you can see it in the lobby of the Petersen Automotive Museum. And if you want to see more one-off Italian rarities and stories behind them, make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell down below. My name is Vi, and this has been the Petersen Automotive Museum's YouTube channel. Catch you next week.